HarmonyOS is actually working on the next generation of operating systems, and for the first time, we're leveraging our own AI capabilities to empower platforms like Huawei and HarmonyOS itself. It provides a very convenient development framework. Compared to Android, which generally takes about 2 seconds, the EU app version has been shortened to under 1 second, and the Harmony version can achieve over a 50% improvement. The experience of trying out HarmonyOS Next has been available for a while now, and many developers have already launched native Harmony applications. There are also some companies that have made in-depth adaptations based on the native features of Hongmeng. This time, we are going to visit developers from 3 companies, namely NetEase Youdao What's Worth Buying and CamScanner. Let's find out how difficult it is to get started with Harmony development, what the development experience is like, and what advantages they see in Harmony native applications. Why don't you start by introducing yourself and telling us what your team is responsible for?
I am the R&D director of Youdao. We mainly produce Youdao Dictionary and Youdao Translator. What am I worth buying? Yang Ning is actually the head of the user platform department in the company. I am Lin Ming Hong, the product manager of the Hongmeng version of CamScanner.
How many people did our team invest in the development of the Harmony version, or what? The entire business team has about 12 people, and there are about 5 people in R&D. We are now responsible for the Harmony version, and there are about 10 people, about 4 or 5 people in R&D alone, and there are also some testing. Or some design students, including product students, about a dozen people in total. How long did it take from the beginning when we decided to make the Hongmeng version to the final launch? In this cycle, I remember that the first demo was released in a week.
The first version that was launched took about 4 months to get ready. For developers who were completely new to this, including your team, it was their first experience with a brand new operating system like Harmony. When you put all that time together, the entire project cycle was actually very, very short. A very strict team was established in early 2004. By mid-June last year, we had a version called 2.0. The time was significantly shortened from 8 months at the beginning to only 5 months. Our developers actually worked on the iOS and Android versions before, and came to work on the Hongmeng version. It was relatively easy for them to migrate over, right? Yes, the learning cost was actually not very high. If you have some experience in developing Android and iOS mobile terminals before, especially if you are familiar with front-end languages such as TView, then you will adapt to the development of business vehicles very quickly. In about a week, you can basically start to do business and test some development. When you were developing the Hongmeng version, how much of the code you used on other operating systems could be reused? For the lower level capabilities, we definitely brought in SIR directly. This part doesn't require much adaptation. You just need to cross-compile with the toolchain, and it's good to go. As for PNGI, HarmonyOS itself offers convenient development features for GUI, which is beneficial for us. We can adapt some of the front-end code and use it for interaction testing. It's just some front-end code that can be adapted for interaction testing. Then just adapt it, and it's okay. Just do some functional design on the interaction side, and it's okay. During the entire process of developing the HarmonyOS version, how did Huawei cooperate with you? Huawei provided us with a relatively mature ticketing system for many issues, including some in larger future-related ones. We would quickly discuss how to determine the solution through the functional system with them, and they always responded very promptly, even if I said so. At 1 or 2 in the morning, I have something. I need to bring in people from Huawei to discuss it together. With just one call, they can come online immediately. Yes, their support in this area is very, very strong and very effective. Regarding the underlying system of HarmonyOS, what technical details do you find particularly impressive? What impressed me the most are some of the development paradigms of HarmonyOS and the application framework. It actually combines many of the advantages and disadvantages of earlier versions of Android and iOS. They are combined together. The overall framework architecture provides new developers entering the HarmonyOS ecosystem with very convenient development scaffolding. Its development paradigm leans towards declarative language, which is very handy for front-end developers.
You don't have a particularly high learning cost, especially in the design of state machines, which is actually a more modern set of tools. Huawei, including its terminal scenarios, is actually a full ecosystem covering small screens, foldable screens, large screens, etc. It leverages its entire hardware ecosystem layout to launch this feature of developing once and deploying across multiple endpoints. This characteristic actually provides a very good experience for developers, essentially for us.
With relatively less time and effort, we finally achieved this multi-end, including single-end horizontal and vertical screen switching. The cross-APP one-click drag-and-drop capability left a deep impression on me. In scanning the entire network, we can actually take a specific image from a file and drag it with one click into Xiaoyi, or other apps for more in-depth processing, as well as multi-device collaboration capabilities. In our vision for future versions, we are actually going to cleverly build connections between multiple devices like phones and tablets.
A seamless bridge for quick file sharing. Actually, when I was using the HarmonyOS version of your app, I noticed that when it gets close to a document, it automatically switches to the macro lens. I haven't encountered this feature on the iOS or Android versions, so it must be utilizing the native camera capabilities of HarmonyOS. Yes, this automatic macro lens switching is a distinct native capability of HarmonyOS.
Actually, we didn't think of this when we were developing on the virtual machine. It was only after deploying it on the phone that we discovered HarmonyOS's native camera had this capability, which was quite a pleasant surprise. This feature is indeed useful for certain scenarios, such as scanning smaller documents. For instance, with ID cards, it can provide users with a better experience. This kind of machine processing is difficult to achieve on other platforms and significantly reduces the complexity of our algorithm processing. Another technical.
You've also used a lot of AI capabilities here, right? Including the ability to do photo translation and simultaneous interpretation, which are deployed on the device side, meaning they run locally on the phone, right? Yes, some of the AI capabilities we use are directly from the native algorithm capabilities of the HarmonyOS system. Yes, it provides high-quality OCR and ISR algorithms.
There are also some AI-related capabilities frequently used in business that can be deployed on the device side. Yes, so when we develop our business, we don't have to worry too much about network latency, and the user experience will be better because it's supported by native algorithm capabilities on the device side. Therefore, the deployment of algorithm capabilities is actually done on HarmonyOS, and we don't need to handle it ourselves.
Yes, when we use HarmonyOS's API to connect all our business scenarios, its official API is actually quite user-friendly. Our development efficiency is also relatively high. Let me show you how our app demonstrates AI capabilities. You can see that this case is actually more accurate, more authoritative, and more elegant. The HarmonyOS system is a brand new ecosystem with a single side model, which requires special adaptation because we actually need to provide users with real-time previews. So this low latency is actually very important. Here, we have also integrated the Intense Kit and our self-developed intelligent scanning engine on the client side. It can intelligently perceive images through the model, such as different lighting, shadows, colors, and tilt angles in the image, yes, as well as other interfering factors. Then we can remove these interferences with one click. For example, if a user takes a photo that might be blurry, have shadows, or even have fingers blocking it, and screen patterns, we can handle all of these. What I'm opening now is actually the What Worth Buying app, and the icon on the bottom looks like a robot.
Then it will activate your personal shopping assistant. Look, there's a prompt that says, how is the Huawei Q270? It goes into understanding the question and then retrieves content from the entire internet. During this process, you can simply ask another question, like about the Huawei Band 8. What is the lowest price? Yes, this is also one of our strong capabilities. You are originally focused on consumer decision making, right? With Xiaozhe, you can better assist users in making decisions, correct? Yes, yes, yes. Then it will list products from the entire internet, including the current lowest price, in this manner. Finally, you see it recommends some related products from JD.com and tells you that the price is even lower than during the Double 11 sale.
Actually, there is also an assistant on HarmonyOS, which is Xiaoyi, right? This is the AI assistant under the HarmonyOS ecosystem. Is there any interaction between Xiaoji and Xiaoyi? Worth buying, this product is already integrating with Xiaoyi to implement some functions.
Now, if you use the nice version of HarmonyOS to interact with Xiaoyi, and for example, you say, use Worth Buying to help me find today's best price for Huawei phones, it will actually call our service. I'm also quite curious, do you have any internal data showing whether your app on the HarmonyOS platform has any?
The usual delivery speed in the industry is around 1 second. After optimization, HarmonyOS can gradually achieve an improvement of over 50%, and the shooting efficiency will also be higher. The sound effect of the final generated scan will be clearer. It is actually based on what we call the ArcUI framework, which allows for the development of high-performance interfaces. Compared to HarmonyOS 4, our assessment should be around 30%.
The data includes the testing tools it provides, which are also very convenient, helping us to conduct comprehensive performance evaluations for various application scenarios. The startup speed for Android is generally around 2 seconds, but in our HarmonyOS app version, it is actually reduced to within 1 second. When you scroll through the feed, the smoothness of the list is noticeable. Huawei provides a set of high-performance list components, and the scrolling speed, compared to the experience on other Android phones, is actually improved by 1.3 times.
Compared to other mid-range options, our app actually reduces memory usage by about 50%. Finally, let's talk about what kind of signal or expectations the emerging platform of HarmonyOS NEXT represents for developers. I think the exciting aspect is that HarmonyOS is indeed working on the next generation of operating systems.
What we can already see is that it provides a lot of native AI capabilities. In the future, we can certainly imagine it offering more on-device large model capabilities, which will be made available to third-party developers. This will allow them to integrate with features like its virtual assistant, Xiaoyi. Our third-party services can also collaborate within this ecosystem to create future interactive scenarios. Firstly, regarding the main version of our app on HarmonyOS, we will continuously integrate new features and product characteristics. Secondly, as we mentioned earlier, AI has been discussed a lot, right? I believe this is very significant for us, as it represents a milestone for us. It's the first time we are empowering terminal products like Huawei and HarmonyOS with our AI capabilities. This is a direction we will continue to pursue.
As mentioned earlier, we are currently at an MVP stage, so our first step is to synchronize other features from Android or iOS. Later, we will conduct more in-depth development by integrating the characteristics of Xiaoyi or HarmonyOS. Subsequently, we will also incorporate more features of the HarmonyOS NEXT system. Continuing to optimize the HarmonyOS version, we aim to create a full scenario intelligence scanning system. After having an in-depth conversation with several developers, it seems that HarmonyOS development indeed sheds a lot of the historical burdens of previous systems, yet it doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's relatively easy for quick migration and getting started. The biggest difference lies in the availability of many native controls that can be called to implement various functions, so you don't need to build them yourself or use third-party solutions, which enhances development convenience. In terms of performance and data security, it's a better solution. The three developers also discussed the role of Xiaoyi. This is also a key area for future development of HarmonyOS. So that's all for this episode where we explored HarmonyOS developers. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.